Hello, Virgo. Welcome to your December 2024 reading. My name is Nigel, and you have found alchemy. Okay, let's get started right away. You have, believe it or not, the King of Swords overarching your whole month. This is Sun in Aquarius, Virgo. You may have Aquarius highly aspected in your chart. You may be dealing with an Aquarius, or honestly, Pluto has entered Aquarius as of November 19th, and that might be impacting you in some way. It's pretty much impacting all of us in some way, okay? But for it to come up in your reading, let's see. We'll see if Pluto is significant in this reading. But the King of Swords, he is strict, he is disciplined, he has high standards, he's logical. He uses logic, right? He uses logic above all things. He can be on the stubborn side, not to a fault. So you might be you yourself might be slipping into this archetype this month. It's very possible. Let's just keep going. You have the Phoenix here too. Phoenix, as we know, is rising from the ashes of something, right? Rebirth, renewal, hope. The ashes left behind represent the past, right? The resurrection represents the newness. And this is associated with Pluto / Scorpio. So there you go. Pluto, Aquarius. Just what we said. You might think I planned that, but I really didn't. I just realized it. So that's interesting. Okay, let's keep going here. You have the wolf spirit, and this is number 67 in this deck. 67 might or might not mean something to you. It says turn knowledge into wisdom. Now, wolves, right? It's related to Pisces, believe it or not, a wolf. Leadership, determination, control, freedom, sharp intelligence, very close to the King of Swords, even though it is a Piscean energy. Everything I just said also applies to the King of Swords. So it's very possible that you're being asked to step into an extremely logical mindset this month. I don't think that is too difficult for a Virgo. You have White Rabbit, and it says luck is on your side. Take that calculated risk. Opportunity is on the way with the White Rabbit. So luck is usually Jupiter, but we'll see. The White Rabbit isn't associated with Jupiter, but definitely luck is. Okay. Let's see. Which way shall we go? Let's look at this. You have obsession and romantic feelings. Must have indulgence, falling in love. This might be something that is happening this month. You might be developing romantic feelings towards someone. Someone might be developing these feelings towards you. A current relationship, excuse me, I am suffering so much from allergies today. A current relationship might be deepening. My feeling for many of you is that this is something fairly new. Now, it seems like in every Virgo reading, there is someone in the background, Virgo, who doesn't have your best interest at heart. Sometimes this person can be a major player for your month, and sometimes this person is just background. I'm finding this person very annoying, like the hair in the potato salad, right? Beautiful, beautiful meal, and you find a hair in it. That's this person. So here you have the stabbed in the back card, right? Heartbreak, pain, separation, deception. It says shocking attack, and I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling anything this big, but I am feeling this annoyance. There is someone who might be jealous of you. There's someone who might be prone to backstabbing you. Could be someone at work, someone in your family, someone in your friend. I say use the term lightly, friend circle. You do have difficult times here. And here we go. Be on your guard against chaos and unseen perils or emotional upheavals. In my opinion, this is just be on your guard, period. Does that mean you need to walk around in a constant state of paranoia? Absolutely not. But I think that many of you know who this is. And if that's the case, then just be careful with this person. Don't tell them anything that you don't need to tell them. Don't let them have a window into your life. You have the house card here, and this is number 4 in this deck. Now, the house card is, it can represent an actual physical space or the people within it, right? It's a boundary that you need or should enforce, protecting what is in. What is inside is you. For many of you, this backstabbing, jealous person could be in your family. This could be someone who wants in, somebody who's pushing their way in. You're being asked to uphold a boundary. What did I say? Be very careful, not paranoid, but just boundary is a good word. Maintain your boundaries. Let's see. You have controlling, and it says, take control of your life with better, oh my God, with better boundaries. I'm writing this down. Wait a second. I am writing this down for a second here. I just want to write down this. Boundaries. Definitely. Okay. It says, take control of your life with better boundaries, protect yourself, and stop being pushed around. And definitely hold up that sword and just say, no more, not today. Back off. Boundary. Love that, right? It does say job loss, termination. And when I see this, it says this could be you walking away from something. This could be you wanting to walk away from something. It's very possible that something has surpassed, like you're just not interested anymore. Could be. It could be some sort of, you could see he's packed up and he's walking away. But this really could be something that's going on in your mind here, Virgo. You could just be at the end of your rope with everything. You could be looking for a change. With this Pluto and Aquarius energy, change is afoot for pretty much everyone. Because you have here the unexpected. And it says prepare. Oh, wow, this is all right. Well, I'm jumping ahead. It says prepare for the unexpected, right? And the rebel. And the rebel is always my card for Aquarius. Aquarius and Pluto heavy, right? At least so far. And it says limiting beliefs are limiting your abundance, right? Basically, think outside the box. It's time to think outside the box with work. Maybe it is time to walk away. Obviously, you don't want to walk away from anything until you have something else lined up. But you know what? As you're thinking about your new life, as you're making plans, as you're trying to formulate which way you're going to go, think outside your normal box. Because something may present itself to you that's not normal for you. But that might very, very well make you happy, right? Now, let's move on to your astro. You have new moon in Scorpio in reverse. It says work through your fears. And with this coming in reverse, you may have a problem doing that. And I'm not saying you're petrified of something, but you might have a fear of leaving your comfort zone. You might stick with a job simply because it's comfortable, because it's reliable, because you know the devil better the devil you know than the devil you don't. You may be in need of control, or you may need that type of control in order to feel comfortable. But I think that Spirit is trying to tell you to think outside the box, because I think for the new year, really start looking for things. Instead of looking for a job in the same exact field or in the same exact station that you're at now, look outside the box a little bit. And I bet you something's going to appeal to you and you're going to say, wow, I never thought that I could do that. But as you look at the qualifications, you start to realize, I'm actually qualified for that. And it's a lot more interesting than what I'm doing. Could be something like that. You do have the sign of Leo here, and this is number 5 in this deck. Leo. So Leo, what's interesting about Leo is Mars goes retrograde in Leo. And this will last in December. This will last until the end of the year. And it promises to be a very humbling experience. Use this time for reflection, right? Inner growth, making a plan maybe, right? Instead of trying to steal the spotlight, you may be, you may be getting that internal nudge to steal the spotlight, to maybe have an overinflated ego at some point this month. Spirit is trying to tell you to try to quell that just for now, and definitely lean more on planning and the internal work that needs to go on. You do have Jupiter here, and it is the planet of optimism, growth, opportunity. Now, on December 7th, the Sun in Sagittarius opposition Jupiter in Gemini. Everything will seem to fall in place today. It just will, right? But don't let that success go to your head. It kind of goes back to that ego thing we were talking about with Leo, with Mars going retrograde in Leo, right? Don't let that success go to your head, because you could easily push your luck and have it backfire instead of enjoying the success. On December 24th, Jupiter in Leo squares Saturn in Pisces, and this might bring some tension to the month. Try to let it go. Try to release it, because it is temporary, okay? Now, you might find people very critical of you during that time. I know Virgos can be critical. It's very rare. I think people are critical of you. But I do think that if that happens, it's not going to sit well with you, especially when the people being critical of you, you could tear them apart in 3 seconds. But we're not going to do that, right? You're going to let it go. You're going to release it until the end of the year. You have Chiron here, and it's core wounds, vulnerability, potential through pain. Chiron. December 29th. Chiron goes direct in Aries. Chiron is the wounded healer, right? And Chiron goes direct and allows us to heal any old wounds that have been festering since it went retrograde in July. For you, Virgo, it's been in your 8th house. Anything that was previously hidden is brought to the surface, and and during that time was meant to be examined, exposed, and worked on. What old hurts have you been dealing with? Heal the remnants of it during this time. Now let's look at your month. Beginning of your month, you have shadow side, the dark night of the soul. You might be going through a bit of a dark night, yeah. But I do think that it's this internal examination that we talked about. I think listen, if you follow the advice in this reading, you're going to be so much better off when the year begins. You have here the 9 of Wands starting off your month. The 9 of Wands is moon in Sagittarius. Sort of like the wounded warrior. The wounded warrior, right? But the 9 of Wands tells us we're pretty close to excess. We're tired, but we're not beaten. It's perseverance. Definitely perseverance. You have the 8 of Swords here. Oh, excuse me. You have the 4 of Cups first. You have the 4 of Cups first, right? Moon in Cancer, apathy, refusal, saying no. Perhaps providing those boundaries. Maybe you're starting to exercise your will a little bit here. Maybe. But, not enough, because you do have the 8 of Swords, right? And the 8 of Swords is Jupiter in Gemini. It's trapped, feeling frozen. Who's doing this to you? Is it a family member? Is it a job? You have some inner work to do. Definitely some soul searching. When we add up this column and we break it down, we get the number 3, and that is the number of Jupiter again. Jupiter has a strong magnetic field, right? And it exceeds what it receives from the sun, ultimately bringing expansion, luck, and prosperity. So you are not receiving what you're putting out, but all this is preparing you for something. You're being prepared for something. So Jupiter is associated with the sign of Sagittarius. Let's look at your mid-month. Mid-month, you have reflection, projection. Now, as we start mid-month, you have justice in reverse. Libra energy. But my God, it's a sort of, who is doing this to you? There was an injustice done. Yeah, there was an injustice done. Now that sounds ominous. It could be something pretty simple, like talking behind your back or, getting you in trouble at work, backstabbing you, right? There was an injustice done here. You do have the Ace of Swords reverse, and this is in the center of your whole reading. And the Ace of Swords in reverse represents no clarity, right? You're not clear on exactly what's going on. You're not clear on exactly who did what yet. Your spidey sense may be tingling, but you are not seeing something for what it is, at least not at this point in the reading. But this is the center of your reading. This Ace of Swords is in reverse. So you have a lot of, well, let's not jump ahead. You have the Knight of Pentacles coming in right after that, right? And this is Mercury in Virgo. Something slowly making their way to you, something positive. Now, this is towards the end of the middle of your month. But the middle of your month, something, it seems like at the end of the beginning of your month and the beginning of the middle of your month. Hopefully that's not confusing. You have a tough time of it, right? But that gives birth to other energy. And guess what? And you can't make this up. When you add this up and break it down, you get the number 3 again. Jupiter. Whatever is happening is for your best interests. It's for your expansion, your growth, and your luck. Your luck. The White Rabbit foretold that you were going to have luck. So whatever it is that goes on, try to keep that in the back of your head, okay? Let's move on to your end. So let's look at the end of your month. At the end of your month, you have some sort of celebration or gifts or abundance. We talked about that, right? We talked about how something was leading up to something positive. And here it is. You have celebration, gifts, abundance. You start this off with the Hierophant here coming in sideways. And this is Taurus energy, first and foremost. But, you know, you have a choice. My sideways cards are choices. You have a choice. Are you going to go the traditional route or the rebellious route? The rebel, right? Traditional or rebellious? You're going to have a choice at the end of the month here. So let's see. This leads into, wow, I like this. This leads into the Nine of Pentacles, right? The Nine of Pentacles is Venus in Virgo. It's freedom. It's success. So you have 2 success cards. You have a choice card. At the end of the month, it looks like you have a lot going on, a lot of positive things going on. You do have a choice to make here, whether to, I don't know. I think for some of you, maybe it is a person. Maybe it is a person who is trying to knock you out of your traditional role. I think that's like for one of you, but you're going to have a choice to make, whether to do something spontaneous and rebellious or to stick to the more traditional route. You do have 2 pages here, and that's like kind of interesting because the first page, and that's kind of just what we talked about here, because the first page is the Page of Pentacles, right? And this is more Taurus energy. The Page of Pentacles is goal-oriented, a planner, right? A very dependable archetype. But then you have the Page of Wands in reverse, Sagittarius energy, hasty, impatient, distracted. Could you think of 2 more opposite things? I really think that it's 2 parts of yourself. I think there's a part of yourself that's extremely traditional, extremely dependable, extremely goal-oriented, sort of a Dudley do-right. And then you have the other side of you that can be a little hasty, it can be a little impatient, can be a little rebellious. It does look like fun energy, though. It looks like you're going to have choices to make. It looks like you're going to have choices that, you know, many people just don't have, to be honest with you. But it's all going to lead to some sort of abundance. Now, when you add this column up and you break it down, you get the number 5. And that's your planet. That's Mercury, right? Virgo, Gemini. Communication, travel. What's interesting is Mercury is in retrograde until the 15th. So you may have until the 15th, until mid-month. You're going to be affected by this retrograde, I can tell. When we start to slowly come out of it, and we'll still be in its shadow here, right? But when we start to come out of it, it seems like there is a release valve that goes on for you here, Virgo. So let's move on to your challenges. So for your challenges, it looks like you have some sort of loss. It says rejection. I do think it has something to do with being stabbed in the back here. All right. I like the difficult times, be on your guard, loss, rejection. I do think that it's going to be a challenge for you this month. It's not going to, obviously, it's not going to affect your outcome here. But there's, in your challenges, you have this, right? And you also have the Page of Swords. And the Page of Swords is Gemini energy. It's another page. I mean, you've had, what, 3? Curiosity, mental agility. Your mental agility might be a problem for at least a portion of this month. And we see that here with the Ace of Swords in reverse in the center of your reading, right? You also have the Four of Swords. And the Four of Swords is rest and relaxation. It might be a challenge for you this month. And you also have the Three of Wands. Three of Wands is Sun in Aries, expansion, growth, looking ahead, manifesting for, and I do think that's only for part of the month, but I do think that it's going to represent a challenge to you for part of the month. Just keep in mind all the good stuff we talked about, because when we add this challenge column up and we break it down, we get the number 7, and that is Neptune, Piscean energy, confusion, trying to cut through fog, trying to turn that Ace of Swords upside down so you could think clearly. So that all sort of makes sense, doesn't it? Now let's look at your your opportunities. And you know, this sort of makes sense too. You have fate, detours, divine intervention. What did I say at the beginning of the reading? Certain things are happening, and just kind of remember, keep your eye on the prize here, Virgo. Definitely keep your eye on the prize, because you have here the Five of Pentacles in reverse. This is Mercury in Taurus, but as you can see, this would be your Five of Pentacles energy, kind of dark and lonely and blah, blah, blah. Oops, sorry, I just knocked into the mic. But this is the side that you got. And, you know, the Five of Pentacles in reverse is overcoming adversity, shifting your mindset, getting the support that you need, embracing abundance, right? Change for the better, for sure. Change for the better, right? A detour. Now, you also have the Seven of Cups in reverse. Now, the Seven of Cups in reverse is Pluto, Scorpio energy, right? It's a turning point in the decision-making process. It's clarity, opportunity for clarity, having tunnel vision, having that tunnel vision. And you have another sideways card here. And the sideways card is the Ace of Wands. You're going to have a choice, and it's an opportunity for choice. Fire energy, right? Sagittarius, Aries, Leo. Are you going to choose inspiration, creative spark, new passion, or are you going to choose hesitancy? It's an opportunity. You can go either way. Are you going to choose, where is it? Inside of the box or outside of the box? Tradition or rebellion? Yeah, choices, choices, choices. When we add this up and we break it down, and don't forget, that's your opportunity column. You get Jupiter, the planet of expansion and luck. Just like we all the way at the beginning of the reading, expansion and luck, right? Sagittarius energy. Pretty cool. Definitely pretty cool. Okay, let's do this. Pull a couple of cards here. Now, you know, what's interesting here at Sagittarius is everybody seems to get, it's life, right? I mean, I'm sure that people exist out there that have nothing but great months. And once in a while I get a reading like that, right? But most of us humans, we have a bunch of stuff that happens during the month, right? We'll have, like, you know, somebody stab us in our back, but then we'll get a raise. We'll have all kinds of stuff. So I'll never really understand fully the people that want nothing but good readings. I mean, I just, like, don't you want it to be accurate? I don't know. Do you just want to be kind of spoon-fed your spirituality? But let's see. This is Trinity, balancing decisions, priorities, adapting to change. And there's that wolf. There's that wolf we saw way at the beginning. Yeah. It's that Piscean energy. Remember we said Pisces? Pisces is Neptune. A little confusion, a little illusion. At the bottom of the deck, you have success. Oh, God, this is just so on point. You have success, positivity, blessings. So you go from being confused and cutting through some bullshit to getting the success. Getting the success. Absolutely. All right? Absolutely. Let me move this so I can clarify the rest of this stuff here. One sec. Okay, so let's take this. Let's look at this. Let's recap just a little bit. You have the beginning of the month here, right? So you have that the wounded warrior, but persistent. You're hanging in there. Feeling a little. I could see you're feeling a little. You know, it's trapped, but stuck. You might be feeling a little stuck. It is the shadow side. It is the dark night of the soul. It's heavy Piscean Neptune-like energy, right? That we talked about throughout this reading from the time we pulled the wolf on down. You have here taking a vacation physically or mentally, and this came in reverse. So this is something that you may want. I don't blame you. You know, you're hanging in there with that Nine of Wands energy. You're tired, but you're hanging in there. You have here mid-month. You have that, that Ace of Swords in reverse, that lack of clarity. But it says the most difficult part of a journey or a situation is over. You have the rainbow coming out here. I like that for you. Here, let's pick up the other side of this deck. And let's look at your end of month here for Sagittarius. You have purse. It says pay attention to your finances. Okay, yeah, definitely pay attention to your finances. But then again, when I see the person, I see all this money pouring out of it, and I see this abundance card. Yeah, I think that you're going to get an increase in finances in some way or recognition. There's something about your money that is you're going to be gifted here. I don't know. That's the best way I could put it. It says pay attention. I'm not feeling a warning there, but I am looking at that picture and seeing a reward of some kind. You do have these challenges here. You have some challenges here. It says you are highly thought of. It is coming in sideways. I don't always take these cards sideways, but there are people that think very highly of you here, Sagittarius, but there are people that don't. And I'm thinking of one in particular, and I don't know who this person is. They keep showing up in your reading, but they're jealous. You need boundaries. You definitely need boundaries. You need to take control, okay? You have this end. You have these opportunities here at the end of the month. And it says, bird flying, news is on the way. Bird flying, I think freedom. I think we were talking about freedom here with the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, the last leg of your month, you pulled that Nine of Pentacles, bird flying. Exciting stuff here, Sagittarius. Sagittarius. See, I was going to say Sagittarius because Sagittarius and Jupiter, right? Yeah. Virgo, I really wish you the best. This is a very interesting reading. But try to figure out who the hell this is that keeps popping up in your readings. They're not going to really affect you, but they're there. And you do need the boundary. And I keep seeing this house as a boundary. You're safe inside, okay? I wish you all the luck, Virgo. Oh, wait a minute. Before we do, I have to do your lucky numbers and everything, right? So your lucky numbers are before we do the lucky numbers, when we add up all the numbers in this reading and we break it down, we get the number 7, which is Neptune, that confusing energy that we hearken to all the way in the beginning of the reading, right? Now the numbers that came up the most were number 4, which is Uranus, unexpected change, number 3, Jupiter, which is expansion and luck, and number 5, which is Mercury, and that's your ruling planet. And I do think it has something to do with the Mercury retrograde. Now, the planets, believe it or not, the planet that came up the most as far as these cards go was Jupiter, right? Expansion. Whatever is on the table is expanding and is happening in your best interests. The sign that was mentioned the most was Sagittarius. That's why it was on the tip of my tongue to say it, right? Gemini also came in a close second. All the signs were Sagittarius, Cancer, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Virgo, Aries, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Pisces. Now, as far as your lucky numbers, 3, 42, 67, 4, 5, and 7. That would be it. Definitely another fascinating reading. I will see you in your 2025 full year summary. Namaste.